Hi, so this is Chris Bladen and I'm the promoter of JackHammer UK. Today we've got a bit of a press release and I'm going to welcome you some of our finest people that we have that work with us. And first off, we've got none other than the president of the UK WKU, Richard Todd. So he's going to introduce himself.
How you doing, guys?
And then I'm going to pass you over to Notorious, who we have the wonderful Alex, who has set up his own company and he's doing well now. And then he's going to start interviewing some of our fighters that we've got on this stream. So I'll just welcome in Richard Todd. How are you, Richard? You all right?
How you doing, Chris? You okay?
Good.
So obviously, WKU England will be the primary sanctioning body for JackHammer UK on the 21st of March. Really looking forward to it. The card is building, and we've still got more to announce. Which these announcements are going to be coming very soon. It's an exciting card, probably one of the most exciting cards I've seen to start this year. Definitely, the show's growing. You're pushing into the pro side excellently now. It's brilliant. Can't wait.
No, all good. All good. So I'm just going to welcome, we've got Alex Pascola from Notorious TV. So Alex, how are you, Alex?
Very good, guys. How are you?
Good.
How you doing, Alex? Good.
It's good to be back, man. It's good to be back.
Amazing. We've missed you, Alex. We've missed you.
Well, I've always said for interviews and some of the stuff that he does ringside, I don't think there's anyone better in the game than Alex Pascola. We started a good journey a few years ago. Obviously, we went separate ways for a couple of shows while Alex sorted his stuff out, and now he's back. And let's move it on and make it bigger and better, and we all grow. So, Alex, how are you? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, looking forward to the 21st of March. The card so far looks absolutely sick. I think the thing for me with JackHammer is the evolution. We've always known certain aspects of the show would be a slow burner. We knew that it was going to take the time for you to get the show where you wanted it to, even though it's still not where we want it to be. But the gradual process over the last 2 to 3 years, it's heading in the right direction. And, you know, the introduction of professional full contact now, again, we know it's a slow burner, but people are starting to see the product. People are starting to get behind it. And for me, everything's just going exactly the way it should, really.
Yeah, and that leads us on to one of our, should I say, elite fighters of JackHammer. That she's been with us from the start, or should I say that we started JackHammer? Well, not the early days, but obviously as we started to ramp it up with yourself. And again, I must add that you, Alex, obviously you started this run with us from the start of JackHammer, and we are where we are today. But without further introduction, I'd like to welcome Hayley Keeley or Hayley Kiley into the group chat as you're going to interview her. Just a quick brief. She was the amateur full contact kickboxing world champion, and she's due to fight Lorraine Poulin from France, who was also a ISKA world champion. Hayley fought on our last show against Macy Lewis and got beat in her professional debut. And we feel that this will be a good fight for Hayley, as there's nowhere to hide in this game. And once you know him, you just got to keep fighting. So, Alex, I'll let you do your magic.
Hayley, how are you?
I'm good. Great to see you all, and I'm looking forward to March.
Good, mate, and you. It's been great. You've been fighting on JackHammer shows now on a regular basis, and since Chris and the team announced the launch of, you know, professional full contact, you were right behind it straight away. You've now fought one fight. Tell us the difference that you found during that fight compared to, you know, when you had the pads on.
Yeah, I think there definitely is a difference, you know. It's more violent, I think. It brings more eyes to it when you know that, I suppose, one punch or kick can take you out there, especially if a head kick lands and you have no shin pads on, you're going down, you know, and you know that when you're in there as well. I enjoy that. I like a bit of pressure on me. Obviously, the first pro fight didn't go to plan. Cam started too late by the time my leg got better and stuff. No excuses. Macy was really good on the night, and both of us really enjoyed it. We were the first two females to do it on JackHammer, and I didn't put on as much of a show as I know I'm capable of, and obviously I was disappointed with that, but it was still exciting to be a part of it, and I'm looking forward to actually doing it properly this time.
What's the biggest thing you learnt in that last fight?
I suppose don't take fights when your body isn't fully there. You know, my head is always saying, yeah, go, go. But I think sometimes you have to slow down. But yeah, I'm flying it now again, thank God, injury free. And really, really hungry towards getting back to winning ways, which is great.
The thing is, though, I mean, I know you didn't win that fight, but me knowing you as a person, you are a positive thinker, and you just take that as it should be taken, and it's just a loss, and you should move on from it. But at the end of the day, Hayley, you've got my full respect and everybody else's, because you know you didn't have a great camp. You know you started too late, yet you still fought, because you could have quite easily rang Chris 2 weeks before the fight. Chris, camp hasn't gone well. I've not been.
And I would have kicked.
I don't feel 100%, and you could have put, 80% of people probably would have pulled out. You didn't.
Yeah.
You still fought.
Definitely.
You didn't win, but you both made history that night.
Exactly. And look, I'd rather be in something that creates history than be sitting back here, and I was still glad to be there and glad for the opportunity, and knowing that like I've got another opportunity now, I'm not going to throw it away,
I think
Yeah.
that's a big thing in how professional you was, Hayley. In swapping into the professional game and the amateur game, it's almost normalised to get a bit sick and you drop out and you say, okay, there's not a lot to lose here. I think that professional side was evident. It was excellent. It was excellent to see.
It wasn't just that. For me, it was like a breath of fresh air seeing a fighter. It reminded me of old school fighting.
Yeah.
Where we're not pulling out no matter what. And for me, seeing the new generation of fighters now, I mean, I had a pull out for somebody that split their lip in training. Right, I can't fight because I've got a split lip, and I wanted to smash my phone up. However, it was such a breath of fresh air to see somebody that had damaged their Achilles tendon and was like, Chris, look, and she was in contact with me all the way through, and then she went, I'm doing it, I'm okay, I can run now, I can work. And you could see that she was sluggish, but we're not making excuses for the win or the loss, because I think Macy's a good girl, and obviously the result is what it is.
100%.
And sometimes you can fight people 20 times and the outcome could be different, But for me, it was such a breath of fresh air to hear somebody say, yeah, I'm still fighting. And that to me that's a fighter, that is. And we don't see that very often.
It's a professional fighter. And Hayley Kylie's that old school. I'm surprised that she doesn't have a beer before she steps into the ring. Them are the days. Back in the old days, mate, people used to be out the night before they'd fight.
Yeah, definitely.
I think what it is obviously, I suppose the fighting game in Ireland is a lot smaller than what it is in the UK. So I feel like you see a bit more of the people saying, oh no, I won't fight this weekend because I have another opportunity in 2 weeks' time, where we don't have that. So if you get something really good, you're not going to give it up for nothing. Well, that's just how I feel anyway.
A lot of people in our country, especially, there's that many fight shows going on, and I call them prima donnas, as in they want an easy fight to be Instagrammable. They don't really want to fight for it, if that makes sense. A lot of the kids that I see that come training want everything laid out to them. Even like the young kids now, I can't go training because my mum's working late. And I'm thinking, it's a 2-minute walk from your house. Do you know what I mean? It's as if people are so mollycoddled now, or people want it easy. They don't want to have to work for it. And that's what I'm seeing. And I'm sure, Alex, you're seeing the same sort of stuff because you're filming shows up and down the country all of the time.
Yeah, there's a separation now, I think, between. I mean, I know now of group chats that have been set up where people are putting names in group chats going, don't get this guy on your show, he lets you down. Don't get this girl on your show. There's the promoters are starting to communicate to the poster boys and all that kind of stuff. So, Hayley, I tell you what, I want to know. Now you are a professional fighter. That in itself is a massive achievement because you've been on the circuit for so many years. But do you prepare mentally any differently now to what you did back when you were amateur? You've always had good support. You've always had a big crowd come over from Ireland. You've always done well online with the people that are watching you. But now you're a professional, labelled a professional fighter. You still work full time. You've still got coaching at the gym and stuff like that. Tell us about your mental preparation going into this next fight on the 21st of March.
Yeah, I think because I have a long camp now, like I'll be starting in the next couple of days for the 21st of March, and people kind of think that's crazy, but when you are to that level, then it has to be done, and I've been kind of used to that for a while. I suppose thanks to JackHammer giving me world title opportunities and stuff, they were absolutely massive to me, and winning those each time and defending them was like winning the lotto to me, to be honest, especially at the start, because I suppose I was used to fighting in small halls back here at home, and then when you get the big shows and world titles, it's a different mindset altogether. So yeah, having the pro label now, the shin pads are off. It's a bit more violent, but I suppose you still have the same belief in yourself that I always did, and I just know that this is going to grow bigger now, which is quite exciting.
You know, the thing that I like, I remember the first time I interviewed you. And the one thing I do like about what Notorious TV do is, we interview the kids that are 10 years of age. We interview the amateurs. I don't care who you are. We want to talk to you. But I remember when I first interviewed you and I thought, she's going to be really, really good because you've got the whole package. You're really good on camera. You're really good at the way you present yourself. You're a fantastic fighter. You're easy to work with. You're honest. You're good to match. You don't shy away from fights. So for a promoter and for Richard and Chris and the likes of myself, the growth and the evolution that you've been on over the last 2 years, it's just so good to see because you've improved in every aspect of what you need to improve on to be a fighter.
Sorry, Hayley. Sorry, just before you drop in, I think that's a massive advantage to what you're doing in what Alex is saying is that people in the UK are locked onto your story now. And that's been part of your journey. It's not just Ireland that's locked into your story. Yeah. People in England are speaking about you, speaking about your progress and wanting to see your progress. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's mad because I remember being a teenager, I suppose, and going to the UK for big fights, and there'd be like 3 or 4 of us, and it would be the whole English crowd, obviously back in the English that I was fighting against. But now I feel like I go to Chris's shows and everyone is like, "Oh, hi, how are you? And when are you on?" And they'll all stay and watch, and that still blows my mind to today that it's not an Irish crowd, but it feels like it is. And that's
you're the home fighter on a JackHammer show,
which is crazy. Thinking that I got an airplane the day before, and I fly back home again afterwards. But when I get to Cannock, it feels like home, which is great.
Can I just ask, has it affected you back home, as in the Irish community, as in other fighters? Do you feel that there's a bit of jealousy about that fact? Do you feel that you're singled out? You know what I mean? Because sometimes people can either embrace you or they can sort of push you away because she's not doing what we're doing, where in fact everybody should be doing what you're doing. In our opinion, you're leading the way for others. And for us as a promotion, we are promoting. You're not just a one-hit wonder, as in, we're just looking for somebody to match against a local person. Because when you think about it, you haven't really fought a local person. The first local person you fought on our show was Macy. And even though she was still 30 minutes away, but she was probably the localist girl that you had to compete against. Do you find that you are singled out a little bit in Ireland, or there's a bit of jealousy? Or
I think the Irish people are really good to support me, to be honest. I get literally, I would say, 1,000 messages before I go to England. There's my neighbours, different clubs around the country are also supportive. But in a way, I suppose I don't get to fight in Ireland. And like, even when I met Alex at that show there recently, I was thinking, wouldn't it be so nice to be in there fighting, and the
Mm.
opportunities don't come to me in Ireland because I
which
don't know, is it
which
because,
which is going to bring me on nicely to Richard
yeah,
Todd in a minute.
Oh yeah,
I don't know, is
definitely.
it,
So,
yeah,
sorry, Hayley, just to interrupt, but we've got big plans for this show. Me and Chris have stoked it, and our next step is JackHammer Island.
mm-hmm.
Um, and it's going to be a big.
Happening.
It's happening. It's happening. So, and it's going to be based around you, your development, and it's something that we're definitely going to be making a big deal of. We're going to bring it to Ireland in a big way, in conjunction with WKU Ireland as well. WKU All Ireland, and it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, that will be absolutely a game changer for me, I think, in Ireland, because as I said, like I'm coaching every week down in the club. I'm traveling up and down the country to let other people fight and let me be in the corner. And I always think I'd love to be in there as well, and have people from my club being out in the crowd and supporting. So to have a JackHammer in Ireland, I think would top it all off now, to be honest.
Amazing.
Would be absolutely fantastic.
Well, listen, Hayley, before we let you go, March 21st, big fight. You don't want to be losing 2 in a row.
Nope, won't be happening.
Let us know 2 things. Let us know how the fight's going to go, and give us a message for your opponent before March 21st.
Yeah, I think, look, we've both been in there so many times at this stage that it's going to be a great fight again. We've seen her perform, stopping people. She's no fool in this game, as I always say, and that's what I love. And I think it'd be a great fight. She's tall. I think fighting Macy was actually a good experience for me, to be honest, in the lead up to this, because Macy's nice and tall as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to, I think, just really putting on a performance this time and stop being so nice. No more smiles
Yeah.
in there.
Can I
And
can
need
I
to stop being
just
so
can I
nice.
just can I just add? I offered this fight to Macy for Lorraine, and Lorraine didn't want Macy. They asked for you first, right, before they take Macy. So without trying to destroy your pride or whatever,
That makes me
they think that you're the easy option. You're
that's
the
brilliant.
bum.
I love to hear that.
It's
I
not
love
like
it.
that.
No, it'll be a fantastic fight between us both. I know it will. But don't underestimate me. I would say that.
Well, I'd say, is it more of a they're looking to take your credibility and attach it to theirs rather than even you being the easy fight? Because
Yeah, I don't think they think
if
it's the
me was a
easier fight.
fighter, if I was a fighter, I'd be looking to take the person that's got that crowd and say, that's a notch on my belt, that is. It's
No,
I
I
think
think
it's a massive compliment.
any of us fighting each other at this stage, they're all top level fights, so we all want them,
Yeah.
And I respect people that want to fight. I always say that. Don't back out of things. So yeah, I appreciate that you took it.
Awesome.
No, and I appreciate you being on the show, because there's a lot of fighters that I have that I've been in touch with, and they seem to think that JackHammer's too small for them. So they won't fight on my show on the JackHammer UK because it's too small. JackHammer's not big enough, which I don't know. You're from Ireland and you've got a bigger name than most of these UK people, and that's come from JackHammer.
Yeah.
So for me, I just think, what are they watching? Who are they looking at? But here we go. Stay in the smoke or get in the limelight. What do you want to be? And the one thing I can say about you at the moment is you're in the limelight. So
Yeah,
well
the only thing
done.
I will say now, Hayley, is now you are a pro fighter fighting on JackHammer. Do you get upgraded from a travel lodge to the Belfry?
Only if she makes her own way.
I'll take whatever's going. I'll take whatever's going.
Hayley, listen, man, it's so good to chat to you, and it was great to see you in Ireland, and I can't wait. We'll speak again soon,
We
but
definitely will.
yeah, I'll look forward to March 21st.
Lovely. Thanks so
Brilliant.
much, guys.
Excellent.
Cheers.
See you
Cheers,
later,
Hayley.
Hayley.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Okay, so this is Chris Bladen from JackHammer UK. I am one of the main promoters. And with me today, we've got an exciting fight. We've got Mosab from representing Syria, who fighting out of 80s Gym from Holland. And again, we've got Aidan Lennon all the way from Scotland. They'll be taking each other on in a K1 bout with the shins off. So here with us as well, we've got the representative or the president of the WKU.
El Presidente.
How you doing, guys?
And then we've also got Alex Pascola, who obviously has his own business. He's from Notorious Fight TV. So without further ado, we're going to crack on with Richard Todd. How are you, Richard? You okay?
How you doing, Chris? You okay?
Yeah, all good, thank you.
Good, good. Obviously, another brilliant fight by JackHammer. Just consistently boosting that international card. I mean, obviously you put out there for matching, and the international interest is incredible, and it never fails to surprise me, the level of fights that you're pulling off now, and the exposure. Unlike many shows in England, really, the international exposure is just, it's there now, and it's becoming stronger.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so just to introduce, we're going to start with Aidan Lennon. So Aidan Lennon, a wacko fighter is his background. He's got into sort of the K1 Thai sort of industry. He's also been featured on Total Combat when he fought. Did you fight at the O2 Arena?
Yeah, I did.
So he was on the O2 Arena, so he's not afraid to mix it, match it. If you want to go to the floor and have a little 5-second brawl on the floor, I'll have a blast of that, he says. So here we are. I'm going to pass you over to Alex Pascola. So Aidan, welcome, Alex.
How are you, Aidan? You good?
I'm doing very well, yeah. How are you?
So this is your JackHammer debut, I believe, as well, right?
Yeah, it will be.
So take us back before we go into this fight. Obviously, your opponent's here as well, Mosab. But tell us about your previous fight and how that went.
So my last fight would have been at Total Combat. I won that by TKO in the first round. And then my last competition would have been the WACO European Championships, where I won a double gold.
So you've had an active 2025 then.
Yeah, I've had a good year.
And this will be your first fight of 2026.
I think it will be my second fight. I've got another fight on Total Combat a month before.
Okay, sound. So tell us how is it going to go? Because clearly, from what you've just told me in those short few words, you like to go for the finish when you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna work my way around. It's gonna be my first semi-pro K1 fight without shins on, so I'm gonna warm myself up throughout the fight, and then obviously if the finish is there, I'll take it.
What's your main focus in training now that the shins are coming off? Are you adjusting, any sort of training techniques or anything like that?
Nah, everything's the same. Just sharpening the tools up and preparing to do more damage.
And how do you mentally prepare for your fights?
I think most people like to hide away from the fights, and they like to play their music and relax. But I like to be amongst. I like to listen to the crowd and be there and get used to it. Yeah, look around the arena, make sure I'm familiar with everything. So yeah, I like to indulge right into it.
Suck in the moment, isn't it, mate? Some people like to hide away backstage, and some people like to embrace the audience and the atmosphere and get a feel for what's going to happen.
Yeah.
When you got matched on JackHammer, what were your initial thoughts, and what are your thoughts on the JackHammer promotion?
Yeah, it's good. I've seen quite a lot of media on it before, so I've always thought like if I had an opportunity, I'll take a fight. So yeah, should hopefully be good.
I wanted him to go see, because obviously I knew his background, and obviously we got normally Gurge, who's part of that sort of setup. I was trying to push him to go full contact professional, because in my eyes he's won his world titles at amateur or glorified TIG, should I say. Well, why not move it up and go into the pro ranks of full contact, take the shins off and go kicks above the waist? But obviously, I think with the same with everybody, they've got the limelight of maybe wanting to go to the one championships, or that's his aim. And if that's where he wants to go, that's fair enough, you know. But for us, and with the WKU, I think it's the same as everything. As long as you can sell tickets, you can get onto any show you want to get onto, really.
Yeah, of course.
And he wanted to go K1. So I believe you've just turned 18. Is that correct? So this will be a senior fight?
Yeah, just turned 18.
Mosab's the same age, you see. So this, for me, I looked at the ages and whatever. Yes. So we just wanted to match the fight.
It's been relatively ring from day one. And it's almost two routes clashing in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah. At the right time.
At the right time, to the same goal, which is amazing. Obviously, Aidan, you don't want to take that step into pro yet, but you're almost there with a semi-pro. Take the shins off, get the feeling for it, and then obviously opportunity. You're doing it in cold combat already. The boots are off. So there's plenty of opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Most.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, Richard, we say about staying at the semi-pro level, but with what we've got, you know, you go like you got in the kickboxing route, you've still got the shins on. Yeah. So you haven't got that in between. I see. This is my argument, right?
Yeah.
I get so frustrated with associations because if you take a 67 kg category, you have an amateur champion, you have a pro-am champion, and then you have a professional champion. I think this middle one should be scrapped. I think it should just be amateur and pro. That's it. There's no third one in between, because
I think
if I'm going to do K1 and take my shins off, right?
Yeah.
90% of the fight is low shins anyway, low kicks, low kicks, low kicks. So for the extra 10%, I might as well just knee to the head and just call it pro. That's my argument.
Obviously, me and you, Chris, we've had many discussions of it, and it'd be good to get the fighters' views on it, because I think what it shows is within this fight, it shows those two journeys. You have an amateur champion through competition, world championships at an end of a year, which is the route that is almost as a club route that's been separated to the mats, and then it's filtered into the ring. But there was always this undercurrent of fight shows that were almost on their own level, which brings in the pro-am side. So you almost have two types of amateur champion, where you have pro-am that's just done the fight show route, which obviously a lot of your guys, Chris, come through that route, you yourself coming through that route. And then you've got an association route, which is based on amateur tournaments to a single amateur world championships. And I think within, obviously, that tournament route, there's less exposure, especially in the ring. Whereas in the fight show route, these guys have been doing it. It's been there for years. It's a route that's been there for years. And what pro-am offers, what pro offers is that clash to meet in the middle. And I think that's needed. It's almost like unifying the sport to a single purpose.
Yeah. It's getting the fighters to get behind it, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the bit. Let's face it, if we spoke to 50 fighters that could turn pro and say, right, we're going to put you on a 40 grand a year contract or 100 grand a year contract. You're going to be signed to this promotion. You'll fight four times a year, mate. You'd have 50 pro fighters within 24 hours.
Definitely.
Yeah, but Alex, but if we look at the boxing world, Alex, you know, you go amateur and you go pro. That's it. There's no in between. You're either amateur and you're pro. You go pro, now you can sell tickets. So you got to sell tickets to see what your value is. It doesn't matter how good you can do the alley shuffle. It's all about how many bums you can put on seats.
I mean,
that's where the people need to remind themselves of.
I mean, let's ask the fighters. Let's see what.
Let's talk about these guys.
Let's go to Mos first. Yeah. So Mosab, I'll bring you back into Mosab, Alex, and then you crack on with Mosab. let's see
Yeah, so
what he has to say.
Mosab, pleasure to meet you, mate. How are you? You a passenger? You're not driving?
No, you're right.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. So you're from
Is it-
Holland,
Yes, I'm from Holland.
fighting out of 80s gym. Tell us about your last fight, Mosab, and how that went.
I wanna begin with I wanna thank God Allah for giving me the opportunity to fight JackHammer. I'm grateful for that, you know. And yes, about my last fight, I fought in the Germany, and it was really good fight with really good organization, you know. And yeah, I have won it with a spectacular high kicks, front kicks, knees, good boxing, and yeah, it was really good going.
So you're both coming off the back of a great win.
Yes.
Tell us, do you know much about Aiden?
I didn't saw anything about Aiden, but I have only respect for my opponents, and that's it. We're gonna make it a good fight, hard but respectful, and that's it.
Again, you're used to fighting on the road, but it is your JackHammer debut. Tell us when this fight got announced, how you felt.
Yeah, I'm feeling great for the fight. I want to fight. Yeah, and I can't wait.
What's your focus in camp at the moment? You're going to be starting camp within the next few days. Now Christmas is over. You know that Aiden's coming off a TKO victory. What's your focus going to be during camp?
Like I said, we also train hard every day. There is no cares or something. There is no specific things that it will stop my training. We train all the day, all week, like without any stops, and we're sharpening every weapon. And I'm also ready. I'm gonna come for the KO, and you will see. Everyone will see the fight. It will gonna be a good fight.
I think, guys, to be honest, I think we've got a potential fight of the night here, because both these guys seem very, very up for it. Both of them have
definitely
come forward fighters looking for the finish. Mosab, what would you like to say to Aiden? Is there anything you'd like to say to him?
Nothing but only respect to him. And I wish him good luck, but it's gonna be a really hard fight.
And Aiden, is there anything you'd like to say to Mosab?
Yeah, exact same thing. Wish nothing but respect. During the fight, we may not be friends, but after, maybe we'll have fun with each other.
And Mosab, from you, how is this fight going to go? Give me a fight prediction.
No predictions. You will see.
Aiden, give me a fight prediction.
It's obviously going to be a win, but I just need to decide how I'm going to do it.
Love that. Love that.
See, the thing I like about what we're doing, like I say, for me, and this is what I don't care what anybody says. I know this can be a bit biased, and we've got a lad from Scotland and we've got a lad coming from Holland. This is mutual ground.
Yeah.
No, you've got Mosab that's been used to fighting, you know, on the road, as we've just heard. He's fought in Germany. He's no stranger to not being in his own back garden. You've got Aidan Lennon, who we've just heard was only fighting a few months ago, like last year, who had to travel all the way down to the O2. That's like the opposite end of the country to him. You know what I mean? So for these two fighters and for us of JackHammer and the WKU, we just want to push these guys on. And the thing that we have got up our sleeve is we can offer so much, not just under the JackHammer banner, but WKU and this man here, Richard Todd, you've got access to some of the biggest fights in the world.
Some of the biggest shows in the world.
Richard explain the possibilities of where these fighters can go, and it doesn't matter where they're from because it only takes a phone call.
Yeah, I think that's what we're expanding. We're launching WKU England contracted fighters for this year. So 8 pros that are signed to WKU England that we'll have them on WKU England shows and international shows, getting them on these big shows in Europe, giving them access. We've consistently sent out fighters over the years to.
Give examples, Richard. Give examples of where they can go.
Hannah Turner, she won the world title on Steckles in front of a crowd of 9,000 people, full arena.
Good
Huge
fighter.
show.
Great fight. Nice girl.
Great fighter. Nice girl. And she did it on 2 occasions, wrapped up the job. We've had Jack Jones also fought on the undercard of the same show. We've got the Battle of Hamburg. So we sent out 2 fighters to the Battle of Hamburg in November. These are shows that are huge. Shows the type of exposure.
But huge, Richard, through consistency.
Definitely.
And that's the key with what
Being on
we
the right
do,
shows,
with what JackHammer do, with what the WKU do, with what you do, with what I do, with a lot of the fighters that we have on the show, like Hayley Kiley and people like that. It's consistency.
It's consistency. It's
who you know, not what you know.
Yeah, and not only that, but we have the fighters at the forefront of our mind. Not only that, but I've been a fighter. Chris has been a fighter, and we're saying, okay, you have a lot of shows that put out there, and they're not giving a lot back. These shows give a lot back, and do a lot for the fighter and the fighter's exposure. And if we make that the forefront of what we're doing, it's going to be the place to go. It's going to be where fighters will want to be, especially on the pro circuits. So yeah, we're going to give massive exposure to these fighters, and we're really going to grow. And it's going to explode.
Aidan, let me just bring you in here, mate. What do you think of the kind of the landscape of the sport over the last couple of years and how it's evolved?
Yeah, I think especially K1 and Thai, I think it's grown massively over the past 3-5 years, especially with the likes of One Championship and Glory. I think it's just because the fighters, as much as you've got all your audience wanting to watch now, it's because you've got these fighters. They see a future. They see there's money in this sport now, whereas before, as much as you can make money off it, you're still working your normal job in the background, which I think it's good now that you got these platforms to make money from, which more fighters training better fights, more audiences want to see it. So yeah, I think it's grown massively.
And Mosab, have you fought in the UK before?
No, that's the will become my debut.
This is his debut in the UK.
And,
maybe in the UK as well.
Yes.
Wicked.
But he's no stranger to Europe. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah. But everybody wants to fight in the UK, don't they, Mosab?
Yes, I know that, and that's why I'm grateful for God that I have a chance like that, and yes, that's it.
Well, listen, guys, we're not going to keep you much longer. Before we go, just a quick roundup, Aidan. Why should people tune in and watch you on the 21st of March?
I think people should watch me because, well, I back my skill. I back that I'm able to make a highlight reel when I want. So if you're watching my fight, keep your eyes peeled the whole time. You don't know what's coming.
And Mosab, why should people tune in from Syria and Holland? And why should they tune in and watch this fight on the 21st of March?
I'm gonna bring them the big win, and with the knockout, we always go for the knockout, and they will see.
Love it. Well, listen, guys. Anything from you, Chris and Richard?
Yeah, I just want to round it up and say, listen, I know that I've spoken to Aidan's dad and Aidan via the same sort of platform. However, one thing I can guarantee, which is what they was a bit worried of, is the amount of fighters that pull out, that Aidan's had pull out on him. You've come to the right show now. You're part of a good team. And as you can hear from Mosab and the gyms that we deal with, we don't play at this. We want the right fights, and we go above and beyond to make sure that these matches happen. And I'm just grateful that you both want to come and represent the JackHammer brand, and we'll look after you and give you both the fair crack that you both deserve. Like I say, the judges, I have no I have no control over who the judges are. That's down to that man on the screen, Richard Todd. So for me, I wish you all the best, and I will see you both on the 20th of March at the weigh-in, and then we'll be ready to go to war on the 21st. So thank you for being part of it, and I wish you all the best in your training, and try not to break a nail, because I'm sure one of you will pull out if you do.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Excellent. More in the pipeline. This is just pure excitement and joy for me. So
That's the
yeah.
scary thing, though, isn't it, Richard? Like
it's
we've
crazy.
literally just spent an hour interviewing 2 of the fights.
2.
Then there's another 20 odd, mate, that are going to be
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
banging.
There's ones that are not announced that are just of a crazy level, and we're pushing the boat, raising the level of what we're doing. Chris is doing a fantastic job in this promotion. It's excellent.
I know that I do your heading, Richard. I know that I do.
I think
you do
that's for everyone,
everybody's
doesn't it,
heading,
Chris?
mate.
Yeah, I know that I do his heading. I mean, it's Christmas Day, and I'm messaging him. Christmas Eve night.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve night, about 1:45. I messaged him. I went, Richard, we need this, and this. And he went, Chris, it's Christmas.
See, what are you doing?
I'm like, look, I don't stop. You can't stop.
No, it's good. You can't stop. Yeah.
If you stop, you go stagnant. And that's one thing that people can't say. Like, I'm seeing other fight shows out there now, and I'm like, it doesn't frustrate me. It makes me wonder, am I doing something wrong? Because why haven't I got a flip book of people that are dying to get on the show? And some of the things that I have off certain gyms is, my guys aren't ready for JackHammer yet. And I'm like, what do you mean your guys aren't ready for JackHammer? We have an undercard of people that are like
development.
Yeah, we have a development, which is the undercard, and then we have our main card. And sometimes I feel, have I gone above and beyond what needs to go? Or it worries me sometimes, because I think, are we at a level that there's not many people out there at that level? I don't know.
I think we're just seeing, what you're seeing is people are seeing the big fights and the big highlight reels, and they're saying, okay, this is that level. My guys aren't ready for that level. And I think we've discussed it in making more of the undercard. Like you said, Alex, you've interviewed 10-year-olds, you've interviewed 12-year-olds. And I think with that, we're going to be showing the development phase.
Well, look at Roma Tyson, Chris, from your gym.
Yeah.
She's the perfect example.
Well, she's 16. She's 17 now. 17, and we've put her in the adult division. Okay, she's had a few losses, but she fought at the O2.
Yeah.
She fought at the O2 boxing against the champion and smashed her up. And we're like, we're on that border level. I mean, you know me, Alex. You've seen, I'll put 12 of my own guys on JackHammer, and I might only win 3 fights. And it's like, that's not because they're not good enough. That's because we're not afraid to take a fight. And this is one thing I'm going to say about, like, Aidan Lennon's dad, speaking to him on his platform. This is the level that we're at. This is where we are. Where on the flip side, I'm getting people that are saying to me, yes, my lads only had, or this is coaches, should I say, my lads only had 4 tournaments, 4 ringside ring shows, 4 ringside shows, promoted shows in the ring. And then when you look at them and you look at their history, they've had 370 tournaments. They're in WACO, which is supposed to be the highest level for amateur kickboxing. So I'm thinking, well, what are you doing? Are you trying to, do you want an easy fight? Is that what it is? Because as soon as you say the ring show, then it's like, oh, my guy's only had 4 ring fights. Well, how can I match you up against someone that's had 4 ring fights when then I find out that you're 3 times world champ,
Yeah, I've been
three-time
fighting
world
since you're
champion,
6.
it's supposed to be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
level of the amateurs, and that's one thing I can say about Aiden's dad and Aiden himself. He's gone, look, I'm 18. This is my level. I don't want to be fighting bums. I want to be tested, and I want somebody that's a real fighter that's not going to pull out.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem that we've got at the moment. So fair play to that kid, and I hope he brings his A game, and I hope he gets everything that he deserves, and that is exposure and development and move on.
I think it all boils down to the same thing, Chris, and that's consistency. I've always said, build it, and they will come.
Yeah,
it's harder. It is getting harder, though, mate. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I know. I do agree, but I don't know many other shows that can put on 3, 4, 5 shows a year and match 30 odd fights every show.
Yeah, definitely.
And good fights. They're not just card fillers.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
you know, we all moan at you for the amount of fights on the show, but none of them are just a card filler.
Yeah. No, but
so,
how many? Yeah, but I'm gonna flip that back at you though, Alex. Right. So we'll do like 30 or 40 fights on a show. We start on time and we finish on time. So we'll start at 12 o'clock with the undercards or 12:30, and we're finished by 8 o'clock at night. Where you go to some shows, there's only 12 fights on the show, and I'm there till fucking 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's the point, though. There's only 12 fights on the show, and 6 of them are card fillers. This is the thing, like, build it and they will come. And the ones that are umming and ahhing, and the ones that they just need educating.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And I think this is a big year in terms of the education of what we're doing, the wider scale of what we're doing on the international setup.
If you look at when we first got involved with each other, right?
Yeah.
My Instagram page, up to now, from when we started with each other to which was what, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
We're now almost at 40,000 followers. So that's 40,000 more people that potentially can see the content that we create. Going back 3 years ago when there was 200.
Yeah.
I mean,
your YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, Notorious TV, and all the other, like, it's just, it's massive. And for the people that don't get involved, or for the people that think that JackHammer's too big or JackHammer's not big enough, they're the ones that miss out.
I think so. I think so, because I don't think they realise how far we stream to and how many actual shows, or how far it goes out to for a low level. I say low level show, and by low level show, what I'm saying is like, we're not an Eddie Earn and we're not a Matchroom, but we still fill 1,000 to 1,500 seats in. You know, it's a decent level. But I have got something exciting, which this is the 21st of March, which we've got now. And then the 25th of July, we have got a even bigger show, and it's called JackHammer North, and that will be released after this event. So we're already starting. I've got to speak to Toddy about JackHammer Island. Yes. So the fighters that we have on our show anyway, you know, we're not afraid to send them abroad, and obviously promotions, we pay for their flights, we pay for their hotels, etc., etc. You know, so there's a lot of things to come. Myself and Toddy are looking at putting a pro show on, which is
it's going to be huge.
We've got the Battle of Battersea anyway. We're just looking at venues of where we want to go. You know, do we go to the O2? I think there's a lot of flaws with the O2. As in the low level floor, you can't really see shit because it's on stage. So
I don't like the O2. I really don't like it.
Well, let's ask Aiden. Aiden's still live. So Aiden, you fought at the O2. What was your honest opinion about the O2 in regards of crowd reaction? And because you said that you like to be involved in the crowd. So was there negatives or was there positive? You know, what's your thoughts?
I thought it was pretty good, to be fair, as a fighter, because obviously I fought in not a ring, a pit, and you're able to look up at the kind of elevated stands. But I do see what you're saying when there's the little drop bit, and some people are standing in there. It's a bit harder to.
So if you was on a table seat, for example, right, would I? So let's just say, you know where the platform is, the low level. Yeah, you know where I mean. So underneath, you got the stands that go round, and then underneath. Now I like the O2 because I've took 2 of my fighters there to fight, right? But this was just my, because I'm thinking, we're at the O2, like, you know what I mean? It's great. But then I start putting my head on as a promoter and thinking, because I'm very, you'll see what I mean. I'm very
what
OCD.
works and what doesn't work, isn't it?
I'm
It's
very
that's what
OCD
promoters
with
do.
things.
Fighters like it because they can.
Yeah.
Aiden, you like it because you can say you fought at the O2.
O2.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But when I start looking at the setup, if I was on a VIP table sitting down there, would I be able to see the other side of the ring, or would I have to watch it on a screen?
On screen.
Yeah, I think this they used a screen when I did it. So yeah,
You know
I think
what I mean?
I think good arenas are about crowd interaction, isn't it? It's fighters were spurred on by the crowd. That's the feeling that a fighter engages in. And I think the perfect setup is an open arena, definitely.
The best show I've ever experienced in terms of atmosphere was in a church.
There you go. 4 sides.
No screens, no flames, no walkouts, fucking raw as fuck.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere, it was full from the beginning to the end. It was all on Moor in Scotland, Aidan.
is that further down north?
Yeah, down in Glasgow.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was just in an old church, and there was only, I don't know, 300 or 400 people in there maximum. But the atmosphere was just fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's almost like you could have sawdust on the floor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, the O2 is just too, it's too dark where the audience are. For me, a show is also a social gathering for people.
Yes.
And when it's so fucking dark, you can't interact with people and you can't see people that are also at the show. It ruins the sort of whole feel as a fan. As a fighter, you're looking out and you can't see nobody. I don't know, it just kind of ruins it for me. That's why I don't like the O2. I just think it's far too dark.
I mean, I liked it as a coach. I was like, yes, you know, there was a lot of elements to the O2 that I thought were really, really good. However,
let's just get Canuck to change the name to O3.
Well, let's get Canuck to just turn it into an arena.
And also, let's remind Chris that this was supposed to be 30 minutes.
Yeah, that was your fault, though. Yeah, we've exactly an hour, so that's okay.
Guys,
and guys, I'm going to let you go because obviously it is Christmas period. You know, I've still got a lot of food to eat. Unlucky for Mosab and Ada, you're all on a diet. But don't worry, if you've got any chocolate that you need eating, I'm sure me and Alex and Toddy can finish it off for you.
Definitely.
That'll be appreciated.
Well, Mosab and Aiden, I am genuinely buzzing about your fight.
Oh, can't wait.
Thank you.
Good. But no, thank you, guys. So, yeah, I'm going to pass it over to Luke Clout now just to finish us off and log us out of here, and then we can crack on with our everyday lives. I mean,
fantastic, guys.
If Todd and Alex want to stay on for a little bit just to go through a few things, what we're going to plan, then that's fine. But yeah, excellent. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.